Good morning, children. Today we are going to discuss about next concept in the digestive system. What is the digestive system? We are discussing about enzymes and their functions, right? In the previous class, we discussed about maltose digested by maltase, glucose plus glucose will come, sucrose digested by sucrase, then glucose and fructose, lactose digested by lactase will come. The end products are glucose plus galactose. Dipeptides or tripeptides converts into amino acids by peptidases. Nucleotidases converts into nucleoside plus phosphate by the help of nucleotidases. Nucleoside convert into sugar plus nitrogen base by the help of nucleosidases. Diglycerides and monoglycerides convert into glycerol plus fatty acid by the lipases. Carbohydrates convert into monosaccharides, proteins convert into amino acids, lipids convert into fatty acids, and glycerol, like that we discussed. Those simple substances. So we are discussing now those simple substances, how they will be converted in absorbed. Okay, absorbed into the blood and how we can assimilation. So how many steps? Digestion. Okay, sorry, ingestion, digestion, absorption, assimilation, and adjacent, right? Now third one, absorption. So digestion completed, simple to so complex to simple formed. Now these simple materials should have to be absorbed. So now that only our topic. So absorption and assimilation of which one? Proteins, carbohydrates, and fats. Absorption and assimilation of which one? The proteins. Okay, proteins, carbohydrates, and the fats. So absorption is a process by which the end product of digestion. So absorption is a process, the end product of digestion passes through the intestinal mucosa into the blood and the lymph. So absorption is a process by which the end product of digestion passes through the intestinal mucosa into the blood and lymph. So blood is, you know very well, fluid connecting tissue. Lymph is also nothing but like a blood. But the major difference between the blood and lymph, what? Lymph don't have any color. So no hemoglobin, nothing. Just it is white color. It transports the nutrient. That's it. So the end products of the digestion passes through intestinal mucosa and lymph mucosa into the blood and lymph. Blood and lymph will transport the different parts of our body. Next, the villi in the lumen of ileum. So where it present? The villi. You know duodenum, jejunum and ileum, right? The villi in the lumen of ileum. In the lumen of ileum. Villi in the lumen of ileum. Absorbing units. Okay, absorbing units are there. These are villi. So villi in the lumen of ileum are the absorbing units and consisting of what you call lacteal duct. So these are absorbing units consisting of which one? Lacteal duct, and the middle surrounded by fine network of blood capillaries. So villi is there in the ileum, lumen of ileum. So it's a absorbing units. They connected to which one? Consisting of a lacteal duct. Lacteal means the lymphatic duct, surrounded by fine network of blood capillaries. Okay, this point you should have to remember. So absorbed food will go to which one? Lacteal duct surrounded by fine network of blood capillaries. So here we have to remember the process of absorption involved in the process of absorption involves in the active, passive, and facilitated transport. What are those? Active, passive, facilitated transport. Active means the movement of molecules by the help of energy. Passive, without energy. Movement of molecules from high concentration to low concentration, like the diffusion. Facilitated means by the help of electron carriers. The small amounts of, observe very carefully, the small amounts of glucose, amino acids, and electrolytes like chloride ions generally passes through absorbed by which one? Simple diffusion. Which one? This is a very important neat bit. Here I am writing neat. Whenever I am writing neat, you should have to be very concerned about this. So glucose, amino acids, electrolytes like chloride ions transport into the lumen by the simple lumen to the serosa muscularis is there or not? That particular part by simple diffusion. Next, simple diffusion is a very important. The simple diffusion means what? Movement of molecules from high concentration to low concentration. So next important, the passage of these substances into the blood depends upon the concentration gradients, high concentration to low concentration. Okay, the passage of these substances to the blood depends upon which one? Concentration gradients. Next, another important one, there's a very important fructose. Some important items like fructose help of the carrier ions like sodium. By the help of sodium ions, they will be absorbed into the blood. So by the help of carriers, that kind of diffusion is going on in the sense that is called, what is called? Facilitated transport. What is called? Facilitated transport. Next, this is a fructose help of carrier ions, sodium like carrier ions, that is called facilitated transport. This is also neat bit. Next, amino acids, glucose, remember these names, amino acids, glucose, electrolytes like sodium through the against to the concentration gradients, means low concentration to high concentration, means against to the concentration gradients. So how? By the help of which one? Active transport. By the help of active transport. Which one? The amino acids, glucose, electrolytes like sodium, they will go against to the active transport. That one you should have to remember. Next one, the insoluble substances. Insoluble substances means what? Fatty acids, glycerol, and fat soluble vitamins. So these all are insoluble. Insoluble. Okay, these all are insoluble substances. Fatty acids, glycerols, fat soluble vitamins. So now what will happen? These all are incorporated into, okay, small, okay, very important. So these all are intestinal mucosa, incorporate into small spherical water soluble, okay, droplets called small spherical water soluble droplets called micelles. These micelles, okay, remember this point, these micelles are absorbed into the intestinal mucosa, where in intestinal mucosa they are converted, resynthesized into protein coated fat globules called chylomicrons. Okay, very important point, the small spherical water soluble droplets. So these fatty acids and glycerol fat soluble vitamins convert into first small spherical water soluble droplets called micelles. Okay, these micelles in which area? Okay, small, okay, these all are into the submucosa, intestinal mucosa. Okay, next they are intestinal mucosa, they will be like this, no? Now they will be where they are resynthesized and the protein coated fat globules called chylomicrons, very important neat bit. They will be transferred to which one? Lacteoles, to lacteoles it will be go. Next, that leaches to that eventually lymphatic duct. So lacteoles to lymphatic gland, lymphatic duct to bloodstream it will be. Next, water soluble vitamins are also by which one? Simple diffusion or active transport. Which one? Water soluble vitamins. Water soluble vitamins. This is important. These water soluble vitamins are absorbed by simple diffusion or active transport, and water is based upon osmotic gradient. Based upon osmotic gradient. This point you have to remember, means depend upon osmotic gradient the movement of water will be takes place. Next, absorption will be takes place in the where? In the alimentary canal, in the mouth, stomach, small intestine and large intestine. In is almost all places like mouth, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, absorption will be takes place, right? But maximum absorption will be takes place in the small intestine. Maximum absorption will be takes place in the where? Small intestine, like sugars. See now, sugars, alcohol. Okay, remember this one. The sugar, alcohol, medicine, drugs, they will be absorbed into the stomach. Okay, they absorb it into the stomach. Okay, this is a very important. Certain drugs are absorbed by blood capillaries. Certain drugs are absorbed by, okay, blood capillaries in the lower the tongue and mucosa of the mouth. So drugs are on the mouth only, absorbed into the lower the tongue by blood vessels, by mucosa of stomach. Next, water, minerals. This point also you should remember. Water, mineral, vitamins, some minerals and certain drugs are absorbed in which one? Large intestine. Which what? Large intestine. This is important. Next one, the there will be after absorbing this all materials through hepatic portal system. The absorbed materials first liver will go to liver. Liver will be checked that is good or bad. Then good in the sense, then liver will be sent to all body parts. Then they will be utilized absorbed substances for their activities and incorporated into the cell protoplasm. This process is called assimilation. So all body parts, after going all body parts, assimilation process will be takes place. What you called assimilation process means incorporate into protoplasm for utilization point of view. Like this, there is a absorption process will be there. Okay, children, observe very carefully about absorption and assimilation of proteins, carbohydrates and proteins. After digestion, what is happening after digestion? The end products are there or not? End products of digestion, okay, passes through the which part ma? Intestinal mucosa. Intestinal mucosa into the blood, okay, and lymph. Blood and lymph are the fluid connecting tissues. They will be transport the materials, you know very well. So digested food incorporated into the intestinal mucosa into the blood and lymph. Next, there will be villi is there. The villi is present in the lumen of ileum. So the villi are absorbing units. The villi connected to lacteal duct. Lacteal duct means lymphatic duct. So this lacteal duct surrounded by fine network of blood capillaries will be there. So lymphatic duct to again vein to liver, like that there will be blood passage will be there. Now here what we have to remember is the most important points. Active, passive absorption, mainly the absorption of food items will be takes place by the, what are the steps? Active process, passive and facilitated transport are three steps are there. In these three methods, the absorption of the digested food will be takes place. For example, what? Small amounts of glucose, amino acids, and electrolytes like chloride ions, they will be absorbed by simple diffusion. And based how this diffusion will be depend upon diffusion mainly depend upon which one? Concentration gradients. What is the concentration? What is the diffusion? The movement of molecules from high concentration to low concentration is called diffusion. So concentration gradients will be decides the simple diffusion. So glucose, amino acids and electrolytes like chloride ions, by simple diffusion absorption will be takes place. The simple diffusion based upon which one? Concentration gradients. Next, fructose. What is fructose? So fructose will not absorb directly. By the help of some carrier ions, fructose will be absorbed. Like which kind of carrier ions? Sodium. So that fructose, by the help of carrier ions, sodium like carrier ions, absorption is going on. That's why that is called facilitated transport. What do you call that is? Facilitated transport. Facilitated transport means what? By the help of some ions, absorption will be takes place in the sense that is called facilitated transport. What do you call? Facilitated transport. Now, next, amino acids, glucose, electrolytes like sodium. Amino acids, glucose, electrolytes like sodium. Okay, these all are sodium plus ions. By against to the concentration gradients they will be go. So those are called, that is called active transport by the help of active. This is a very important neat bit I am telling to you. Which one? Amino acids, glucose, electrolytes like sodium against to the concentration gradients through which one? Active transport it will be go. Next, fatty acids, glycerol, fat soluble vitamins, the insoluble substances. What they will be do? So insoluble substances, okay, what are the insoluble substances? Like fatty acids, glycerol, fat soluble vitamins. First they will be, what will be? incorporated into small spherical water soluble droplets called micelles. Small spherical water soluble droplets called micelles. Then micelles will absorb into the intestinal mucosa. So micelles are absorbed into the intestinal mucosa. There in intestinal mucosa, the micelles are resynthesized into protein-coated fat globules called chylomicrons. Very, very, very important neat bit. Chylomicrons, it's a neat bit, very important neat bit. So, chylomicrons. These chylomicrons, what will happen? Then, these will be, which are transported into the lacteoles with intestinal villi. So, lacteoles is there or not? Intestinal villi. The lacteoles to lymphatic duct to, they will go to bloodstream. So, water soluble vitamins are by simple diffusion or active transport. So, how water will be absorbed by the osmotic gradient, means high concentration to low concentration, like that. So, absorption. So, okay, transported. Now, absorption first, where it will be takes place? In the alimentary canal. That is important. So, absorption will be takes place in the alimentary canal, like mouth, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Mouth, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, it will be there. Maximum absorption. Okay, in the different parts, absorption will be there, but maximum absorption will be takes place in the small intestine. Maximum absorption will be takes place where? In the small intestine. That is important. You know, maximum absorption where? Jejunum, ileum is there or not? Duodenum, jejunum, ileum. So, sugars, alcohol, medicines, drugs are in the stomach, and some drugs in the mouth itself. In the lower tongue, lower side, some blood vessels are there. Mucosa of the mouth absorbed by the some drugs. So, water, vitamins. What you called? Water is there, and vitamins. Large intestine don't have any digestion. Large intestine cannot involve in any digestion process. Nothing. Only stomach and small intestine. Then what is the role of large intestine? Just adding mucus to fecus and water, vitamins, just minerals. Okay, some drugs absorption. What you call? Water, minerals, vitamins, drugs. So large intestine, water. In large intestine, what are the absorbing substances in the large intestine? Water, vitamins, minerals, drugs are identified in the large intestine. Then these all absorbed materials will go to which one? To the liver, to liver. From lacteal blood, lymphatic vessels to vein, blood to all absorbed first material. Where it will go absorbed, all food items will go to the liver. Liver will be checked. Which one is good, which one is not good, which one is toxic, which one is not toxic. After checking everything, the liver, then liver send to the food to all body parts. Then there all cells will absorb the food into the protoplasm and utilize for the energy production. Assimilation process will be takes place. Like this, the absorption process will be there in the three methods. What are the three methods? Number one, active transport. Number two, passive transport. Facilitated transport. But here, what are the neat bits to remember? Chylomicrons. Micelles are converted into, resynthesized into submucosa. Okay, so what it will be? Micelles are converted into protein coated fat globules called chylomicrons. What is called? Chylomicrons. That is the first neat bit. And what are the materials absorbed by simple diffusion? That is another neat bit. The neat bit here. Simple diffusion by glucose, amino acids and electrolytes. And active transport by, facilitated transport by fructose. Amino acids, glucose, electrolytes. Amino acids, glucose, electrolytes like sodium by the active transport. Fatty acids, glycerol, fat soluble vitamins by what is called? By the in the form of chylomicrons. Insoluble substances all will be converted into chylomicrons, then they will be absorbed. Okay, so maximum absorption will be takes place in, that is also neat bit, in the small intestine. In the small intestine, especially jejunum, duodenum and ileum. Okay, jejunum and ileum, maximum absorption will be takes place The large intestine only for water, vitamin, mineral, or drugs absorption. In the mouth, only some drugs. So all absorbed digested food through which system? Hepatic portal system will go to liver. That is also need bit. Hepatic portal system. Hepatic portal system. From intestine to liver connections. That is called hepatic portal system. All absorbed food will go to liver. Liver will be checking after. Liver checking after. Then the food will be go to other parts for assimilation. Okay.